So hacked raids are dead. Kinda though. Not really, but we'll get into that. So this is going to be a much less structured video. It's probably going to be a little shorter than some of my others. It's going to be more of a rant, really. But I figured I went through the trouble of actually getting into 2 different people's raids, so I might as well put that footage to use. I'm not going to say exactly who, but here's the thing. If you leave your raid code on the screen, it doesn't matter how fast your bot is, pool's open for everyone. Any idiot with OBS and knowledge of how video software works can easily get into your raid. Case in point. That's not really the point of this rant thing. Originally I was going to make a video showing off, hacked raids, showing what they actually, what the benefits were, I guess. Benefits in quotation marks. So there are types of hacked raids that have had a stop put to them, and then there's another type that are still completely legal. Just depends on exactly what they do with these raids, how they set them up, those kinds of things. So basically, the ones that are kind of outlawed are anything you would see, like any Keldeo raids, any Kyurem raids, Zekrom, Zacian, and Zamazenta, however you pronounce those 2's names. Those are the types of raids you will no longer see. But things like, for example, Oslov's Shiny Lycanroc raid, which is clearly hacked at the 6IV Adamant Nature. There's no way that's not hacked. But those are still available. Those are actually still running strong. So what did these raids offer? Well, it just depends on what the host decided to hack into them, really. The 2 that I managed to get into before Game Freak put a stop to them gave out 999 Master Balls, 999 TRs of specific types, Armorite Ore, and Wishing Pieces. There's probably some other things thrown in there that I'm forgetting, but basically I'll be showing all of that on the screen anyway, so just go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Likewise, you could really figure out which ones they were based on what Pokemon was being given out. For example, the 2 that I was able to get into were a Gigantamax Inteleon and a Shiny Keldeo, so yeah, definitely not something you can find in raids by default. However, like I mentioned, there are still hacked raids available, probably following the same legality checks as, a caught Pokemon for ranked battles. Also, raids are actually a good example for this. While the Lycanroc and Morpeko raids seem fine, people are still actively joining in on those, the Gallade raid probably has something off on it, since it doesn't seem like anyone's really joining it anymore. Or I guess people really just don't like Gallade? I mean, I don't, but whatever. Likewise, I have seen a few Missing No, God Egg, whatever you want to call them, raids in my Wycom after the patch went through, but the amount of those are definitely a lot fewer. It's possible bans are being sent out for those types of things as well, but I really can't confirm that, so I'm not going to make any definitive statements on that. But those are probably the most you'll see nowadays, since they seem to have implemented some kind of system that actively doesn't allow for any Pokemon not registered to a raid den to show up online. To be honest though, I think this is actually a good thing. Sure, I would have liked to get into a raid where I got max blue apricorns, lure balls, safari balls, or sport balls, but them actually cracking down on this type of thing is a good thing nonetheless. However, I will say, it took them too long to really get down to business with it. These raids have been popping up ever since November, not even a week after the game's released. It's July currently. It's been about 8 months since the game's released, and any other game company would have been on this within the first month of release at least. But it took Game Freak about 8 to really knock it dead. However, it is still nice to see Game Freak taking some initiative with quality control. Better late than never, I guess? This also means that whatever the next games in the Gen 8 lineup are will kind of avoid the same issues. Or at least they should? I don't know, this is Game Freak we're talking about here. This also means that there's probably just going to be a lot more trade bots running around in the future too, because they clearly have not put a stop to those, and people are going to try to make use of those other switches they bought to, host those types of raids. Anywho, just wanted to make a quick video about it since it's a change in the game's landscape. But yeah, this was definitely a different type of video. It was much shorter, it was less structured, but I feel like as a Pokemon channel whose foundation revolves around hacking the games, I should at least try to talk about it a little bit, even if I don't have a hack switch of my own just yet. So I'm going to kind of end things off here, but let me know in the comments if you've ever joined a raid like this one, if you're happy you can stop seeing things like this pop up, all that nonsense, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.